So, hello and welcome to all of our fabulous patrons to this month's offering of scenes as done by various members of the company. We've got 4 for you this week, so a little extra treatage going on. Always try and do as many as we possibly can, but because it's just always fun. No theme. I was mostly picking scenes that I felt we hadn't done in ages. And I always try and keep, because there's a lot of scenes that it's harder to do because we're getting people together to record them. So I try and keep them down to sort of 2 and 3, maybe 4-handers. So it slightly restricts the scenes that we can do. But what we've got this week is we're going to start with a scene from Henry IV Part 2, which is a play I'm getting very into again. I'm pretty sure that's coming back next year as one of our paired up plays. And this is a scene with Fergus and Olga and me as Hotspur, Northumberland, and Worcester. It's a section of a scene from the first act of the play. And King Henry has summoned the Percys down from Northumberland because they've been fighting the Scots. They haven't sent him the prisoners, and he wants them. Basically, he wants the ransom. And Hotspur's not happy, right? Let's see what the guy's made of that one. Here we go.
Speak of Mortimer. Yes, I will speak of him, and let my soul want mercy if I do not join with him. In his behalf, I'll empty all my veins and shed my dear blood drop by drop in the dust. But I will lift the downfall Mortimer as high in the air as the unthankful king, as the ingrate and cankered Bolingbroke.
Brother, the king hath made your nephew mad.
Who stroked this heat up after I was gone?
He will, forsooth, have all my prisoners. And when I have urged a ransom once again of my wife's brother, and his cheek looked pale, and on my face he turned an eye of death, trembling even at the name of Mortimer.
I cannot blame him. Was he not proclaimed by Richard that Dad is the next of blood?
He was. I heard the proclamation, and then it was when the unhappy king, whose wrongs in us God pardon, did set forth upon his Irish expedition, from whence he intercepted did return to be deposed, and shortly murdered.
And for whose death we, the world-wide mouth, live scandalized and foully spoken of.
But soft, I pray you. Did King Richard then proclaim my brother Mortimer heir to the crown?
He did. Myself did hear it.
Nay, that I cannot blame his cousin king, that wished him on the barren mountain starved. But shall it be that you, that set the crown upon the head of this forgetful man, and for his sake wore the detested blot of murderous submission, shall it be that you, a world of curses undergo, being the agents or base second means, the cords, the ladder, the hangman rather? Oh, pardon, if that I descend so low to shrew the line, and the predicament wherein you rage under the subtle king, shall it for shame be spoken in these days, or fill up chronicles in time to come, that men of your nobility and power did gauge them both in an unjust behalf, as both of you, God pardon it, have done, to put down Richard, that sweet, lovely rose, and plant this thorn, this canker Bolingbroke? And shall it in more shame be further spoken that you are fooled, discarded, and shook off by him for whom these shames he underwent? Therefore I say ye should
cousin, say no more. And now I will unclasp a secret book, and to your quick conceiving discontents I'll read you matter deep and dangerous, as full of peril and adventurous spirit as to walk a current roaring loud on the unsteadfast footing of a spear.
If he fall in, good night, or sink or swim, send danger from the east unto the west, so honor cross it from the north to the south. And let them gabble. The blood more stirs in to rouse a lion than to start a hare.
Imagination of some great exploit drives him beyond the bounds of patience.
By heaven! Methinks it were an easy leap to pluck bright honour from the pale-faced moon, or dive to the bottom of the deep, where fathom line could never touch the ground, and pluck up drowned honour by the locks, so he that doth redeem her thence might wear without co-rival all her dignities, but out upon his half-faced fellowship.
He apprehends a world of figures here, but not the form of what he should attend. Good cousin, give me audience for a while and list to me.
I cry you mercy!
Those same noble Scots that are your prisoners.
I'll keep them all. By heaven, he shall not have a Scot of them. No, if a Scot would have his soul, he shall not. I'll keep them by this hand.
You start away and lend no ear unto my purposes? Those prisoners you shall keep.
Nay, I will. That's flat. He said he would not ransom Mortimer, forbade my tongue to speak of Mortimer, but I will find him when he lies asleep, and in his ear I'll halloa, Mortimer. Nay, I'll have a starling, shall be taught to speak nothing but Mortimer, and give it to him to keep his anger still in motion.
Hear you, cousin. A word.
All studies here I solemnly defy, save how to gall and pinch this Bolingbroke, and that same sword and buckler, Prince of Wales. But I think his father loves him not, and would be glad he met with some mischance. I would have poisoned him with a pot of ale.
Farewell, kinsman. I'll talk to you when you are better tempered to attend.
Why, what a wasp-tongued and impatient fool art thou, to break into this woman's mood, tying thine ear to no tongue but thine own?
Why, look you, I am whipped and scourged with rods, nettles, and stung with prisms. When I hear of this vile politician, Bolingbroke, in Richard's time, what do he call the place? Plague upon it. It was in Gloucestershire. 'Twas where the madcap Duke, his uncle, kept his Uncle York, where I first bowed my knee unto the King of Smiles, this Bolingbroke, when you and he came back from Ravensperge.
At Berkeley Castle.
Did you say true? Why, what a cordy deal of courtesy this fawning greyhound then did proffer me. Look, when his infant Fortune came to age, and gentle Harry Percy, and kindly cousin, oh, the devil take such cousiners. God forgive me, good uncle, tell your tale, for I have done.
Nay, if you have not, do it again. We'll stay your leisure.
I have done, in sooth.
Then once more to your Scottish prisoners. Deliver them up without their ransom straight, and make the Douglas son your only mean for powers in Scotland, which for diverse reasons, which I shall send you written, be assured will easily be granted you, my lord. Your son in Scotland being thus employed, shall secretly unto the bosom creep of that same noble prelate, well beloved, the Archbishop.
Of York, is it not?
True, who bears hard his brother's death at Bristol, the Lord Scroope. I speak not this in estimation as what I think might be, but what I know is ruminated, plotted, and set down, and only stays but to behold the face of that occasion that shall bring it on.
I smell it. Upon my life, it will do it wondrous well.
Before the game's afoot, thou still lett'st slip.
Why, it cannot choose but be a noble plot. And then the power of Scotland and of York to join with Mortimer. Ah!
And so they shall.
Oh, in faith, it is exceedingly well aimed.
And 'tis no little reason bids us speed to save our heads by raising of a head. Forbear ourselves as even as we can, the king will always think him in our debt, and we think ourselves unsatisfied, till he hath found a time to pay us home. And see already how he doth begin to make us strangers to his looks of love.
He does. He does. We'll be revenged on him.
Cousin, farewell. No further go in this than I by letters shall direct your course. When time is ripe, which will be suddenly, I'll steal to Glendower and Mortimer, where you and Douglas and our powers at once, as I will fashion it, shall happily meet to bear our fortunes in their own strong arms, which now we hold at much uncertainty.
Farewell, good brother. We shall thrive, I trust.
Uncle, adieu. We'll let the hours be short till fields and blows and groans applaud our sport.
I do love the Percys. I don't know if it's just weird of me, but I really love the Percys. Kate Percy. Oh, what a character. She needs her own play. All right, so complete change now. Here are Linda and Bridget doing a fabulous little scene from Two Gents. So we have Linda as Lucetta or Lucetta, depending, and Bridget as Julia. Little bit of Cubase trivia. The very, very, very first workshop we ever did in this technique, going way back, I think, to 2013 now. Linda played this role then, but it's long enough ago that I think she's allowed to have forgotten. So Lady Julia needs a little advice in love. Who does she speak to? Her trusted servant. So let's see how those two get on.
But say, Lucetta, now that we are alone, wouldst thou counsel me to fall in love?
Aye, madam, so you stumble not unheedfully.
Of all the fair resort of gentlemen that every day with Parle encounter me, in thy opinion, which is worthiest love?
Please you repeat their names, I'll show my mind, according to my shallow simple skill.
What thinkst thou of the fair Sir Eglamour?
As of a knight, well spoken, neat and fine, but where are you? He never should be mine.
What thinkst thou of the rich Mercatio?
Well of his wealth, but of himself, so.
What thinkst thou of the gentle Proteus?
Lord, Lord, to see what folly reigns in us.
How now? What means this passion at his name?
Pardon, dear madam, 'tis a passing shame that I, unworthy body as I am, should censure thus on lovely gentlemen.
Why not on Proteus as of all the rest?
Then thus of many good, I think him best.
Your reason?
But a woman's reason. I think him so, because I think him so.
And wouldst thou have me cast my love on him?
Aye, now, if you thought your love not cast away.
Why, he of all the rest hath never moved me.
Yet he, of all the rest, I think best loves you.
His little speaking shows his love but small.
Fire that's closest kept burns most of all.
They do not love that do not show their love.
Oh, they love least that let men know their love.
I wish I knew his mind.
Oh, peruse this paper, madam.
To Julia, say from whom?
That the contents will show.
Say, who gave it thee?
Oh, Sir Valentine's page, and sent, I think, from Proteus. He would have given it you, but I, being in the way, did in your name receive it. Pardon the fault, I pray.
Now, by my modesty, a goodly broker. Dare you presume to harbour wanton lines, to whisper and conspire against my youth? Now trust me, 'tis an office of great worth, and you an officer fit for the place. There, take this paper, see it be returned, or else return no more into my sight.
To plead for love deserves more fee than hate.
Will you be gone?
That you may ruminate.
When yet I would I had o'erlooked the letter. It were a shame to call her back again and pray her to a fault for which I chid her. What fool is she that knows I am a maid and would not force the letter to my view? Since maids in modesty say no to that which they would have the profferer construe. I. Fie, fie, how wayward is this foolish love, that like a testy babe will scratch the nurse and presently all humbled kiss the rod. How churlishly I chid Lucetta hence when willingly I would have had her here. How angrily I taught my brow to frown when inward joy enforced my heart to smile. My penance is to call Lucetta back and ask remission for my folly past. What ho, Lucetta!
What would your ladyship?
It's near dinner time.
I would it were, that you might kill your stomach on your meat and not upon your maid.
What is it that you took up so gingerly?
Nothing.
Why didst thou stoop then?
To take a paper up that I let fall.
And is that paper nothing?
Nothing concerning me.
Then let it lie for those that it concerns.
Madam, it will not lie where it concerns, unless it have a false interpreter.
Some love of yours hath writ to you in rhyme.
That I might sing it, madam, to a tune. Give me a note your ladyship can set.
As little by such toys as may be possible. Best sing it to the tune of Light of Love.
It is too heavy for so light a tune.
Heavy? Belike it hath some burden then.
Aye, and melodious were it, would you sing it?
And why not you?
I cannot reach so high.
Let's see your song.
Mm,
How now, minion?
Keep tune there still, so you will sing it out. And yet, methinks I do not like this tune.
You do not.
No, madam, it is too sharp.
You, minion, are too saucy.
Nay, now you are too flat. And mar the concord with too harsh a descant. There wanteth but a mean to fill your song.
The mean is drowned with you unruly bass.
Indeed, I bid the bass for Protheus.
This babble shall not henceforth trouble me. Here is a coil with protestation. Go, get you gone, and let the papers lie. You would be fingering them to anger me.
She makes it strange, but she would be best pleased to be so angered with another letter.
Nay, would I were so angered with the same. Oh, would I were so angered with the same. Oh, hateful hands, to tear such loving words. Injurious wasps, to feed on such sweet honey and kill the bees that yield it with your stings. I'll kiss each separate paper for amends. Oh, look, here is writ, kind Julia. Unkind Julia, as in revenge of thy ingratitude, I throw thy name against the bruising stones, trampling contemptuously on thy disdain. And here is writ, love wounded Proteus. Poor wounded name. My bosom as a bed shall lodge thee till thy wound be thoroughly healed. And thus I search it with a sovereign kiss. But twice or thrice was Proteus written down. Oh, be calm, good wind, blow not a word away till I have found each letter in the letter except mine own name. That some whirlwind unto a ragged, fearful hanging rock and throw it thence into the raging sea. Oh, look, here is one line in his name twice writ. Poor forlorn Proteus, passionate Proteus. Oh, to the sweet Julia, that I'll tear away. And yet I will not, since so prettily he couples it to his complaining names. Thus will I fold them, one upon another. Now kiss, embrace, contend, do what you will.
Madam, dinner is ready, and your father stays.
Well, let us go.
What? Well, shall these papers lie like telltales here?
If you respect them, best to take them up.
Oh, nay, I was taken up for laying them down. Yet here they shall not lie for catching cold.
I see you have a month's mind to them.
Aye, madam, you may say what sights you see, and I see things too, although you judge, I wink.
Come, come, will please you go?
Always fun. I love that scene. So now we got two more. You're getting two from the same group of people because just to make sure that everybody got a decent go, I sort of split it up a little bit. So Eric and Jenny and I are going to next do for you a little scene from Hamlet where Polonius is expounding his latest discovery to the king. I know the queen should be there as well, but we have to cheat sometimes. And along comes Eric as a lovely, languid Hamlet. So let's see how Jenny gets on as Polonius and how annoying I find her as the king. Enjoy.
Assure you, my good liege, and I do think, or else this brain of mine hunts not the trail of policy, so sure of I have used to do, that I have found the very cause of Hamlet's lunacy.
Oh, speak of that. That do I long to hear.
My liege, and madam, to expostulate what majesty should be, what duty is, why day is day, night, night, and time is time, were nothing but to waste night, day, and time. Therefore, since brevity is the soul of wit, and tediousness the limbs and outward flourishes, I will be brief. Your noble son is mad. Mad, call I it, for to define true madness, what is it but to be nothing else but mad? But let that go.
More matter with less art.
Madam, I swear I use no art at all. That he is mad, 'tis true. 'Tis true. 'Tis pity. And pity it is true, a foolish figure, but farewell it, for I will use no art. Mad, let us grant him then. And now remains that we find out the cause of this effect, or rather say the cause of this defect, for this effect defective comes by cause. Thus it remains, and the remainder thus. Append, I have a daughter, have, whilst she is mine, who in her duty and obedience, mark, hath given me this. Now, gather and surmise. Who the celestial and my soul's idol, the most beautified Ophelia. Well, that's an ill phrase, a vile phrase. Beautified is a vile phrase.
Came this from Hamlet to her?
Good madam, stay a while, I will be faithful. Doubt not. Doubt thou the stars are fire. Doubt that the sun doth move. Doubt truth to be a liar. But never doubt I love. Adieu.
But how hath she received his love?
What do you think of me?
As of a man faithful and honourable.
I would fain prove so. But what might you think when I had seen this hot love on the wing, as I perceived it? I precepts gave her that she should lock herself from his resort. and he repulsed, a short tale to make, fell into a sadness, then into a fast, thence to a watch, thence into a weakness, thence to a lightness, and by this declension into the madness whereon now he raves, and all we wail for.
Maybe, very likely.
Take this from this, if this be otherwise.
But look where sadly the poor wretch comes reading.
I do beseech you, both, away. I'll board him presently. How does my good Lord Hamlet?
Well, God of mercy.
Do you know me, my lord?
Excellent, excellent. Well, you're a fishmonger.
Not I, my lord.
Then you were so honest a man. Have you a daughter?
I have, my lord.
Let her not walk in the sun. Friend, look to it.
What do you read, my lord?
Words, words, words.
What is the matter, my lord?
Between who?
I mean, the matter you read, my lord.
Slander, sir. For this, satirical slave here says that old men have gray beards, that their faces are wrinkled, and that they have a plentiful lack of wit.
This be madness. There is method in it. Will you walk out of the air, my lord?
Into my grave?
Indeed, that is out of the air. But pregnant, sometimes his replies are. My honourable lord, I will most humbly take my leave of you.
You cannot, sir, take from me anything that I will more willingly part with all except my life. My life.
Well, my lord.
And last one for this month is one of my favorite little episodes from Julius Caesar. I think I might pick this one quite a lot. I hope it's not too annoying. It's basically because Casca is one of my all-time favorite characters, and this little sequence between him and Brutus and Cassius, I'm sorry, I love it. So again, you're going to see Jenny as Brutus, me as Cassius, but the scene belongs to Eric as Casca. I love Casca. So kind of dour and funny, and basically he's Shakespeare's Chandler. Let's say it. This is the role that Matthew Perry could have played anytime without even trying. His timing on Greek to me. Love even thinking about it. All right, so here is that little bit of Julius Caesar with us.
You pulled me by the cloak. Would you speak with me?
Aye, Casca. Tell us what hath chanced today that Caesar looks so sad.
Why, you were with him, were you not?
I should not then ask Casca what had chanced.
Why, there was a crown offered him, and being offered him, he put it with the back of his hand, thus. And then the people fell a shouting.
What was the second noise for?
Why, for that too.
They shouted thrice. What was the last cry for?
Why, for that too.
Was the crown offered him thrice?
Aye, marry, was it? And he put it by thrice, every time gentler than another. And at every putting by, mine honest neighbours shouted.
Who offered him the crown?
Why, Antony.
Tell us the manner of it, gentle Casca.
I can as well be hanged as tell the manner of it. It was mere foolery. I did not mark it. I saw Mark Antony offer him a crown. Yet 'twas not a crown neither. 'Twas one of these coronets. And as I told you, he put it by once. But for all that, to my thinking, he would fain have had it. Then he offered it to him again. And then he put it by again. But to my thinking, he was very loath to lay his fingers off it. And then he offered it the third time. He put it the third time by, and still as he refused it, the rabblement howled and clapped their chopped hands and threw up their sweaty nightcaps and uttered such a great deal of stinking breath, because Caesar refused the crown, that it had almost choked Caesar, for he swooned and fell down at it. For mine own part, I durst not laugh for fear of opening my lips and receiving the bad air.
Softer, I pray you. What, did Caesar swoon?
He fell down in the marketplace and foamed at mouth and was speechless.
'Tis very like he had the falling sickness.
No, Caesar hath it not, but you and I and honest Casca, we have the falling sickness.
I know not what you mean by that, but sure, Caesar fell down. If the tag-rag people did not clap him and hiss him according as he pleased and displeased them, as they used to do the players in the theatre, I'm no true man.
What said he when he came unto himself?
Marry, before he fell down, when he perceived the common herd was glad he refused the crown, he plucked me up his doublet and offered them his throat to cut. And I had been a man of any occupation if I would not have taken him at a word. I would I might go to hell among the rogues, and so he fell. When he came to himself again, he said, if he had done or said anything amiss, he desired their worships to think it was his infirmity. 3 or 4 wenches where I stood cried, Alas, good soul, and forgave him with all their hearts. But there's no heed to be taken of them. If Caesar had stabbed their mothers, they would have done no less.
And after that, he came thus sad away.
Aye,
Did Cicero say anything?
aye, he spoke Greek.
To what effect?
Nay, and I tell you that, I'll ne'er look you in the face again. But those that understood him smiled at one another and shook their heads. But for mine own part, it was Greek to me. I could tell you more news too. Morellus and Flavius, for pulling scarfs off Caesar's images, are put to silence. Fare you well. There was more foolery yet, if I could remember it.
Will you sup with me tonight, Casca?
No, I am promised forth.
Will you dine with me tomorrow?
Aye, if I be alive and your mind hold, and your dinner worth the eating.
Good. I will expect you.
Do so. Farewell both.
And that's it. That is our scenes for November. As you know, 2 weeks' time, on the 26th, we're doing our last full play for this year, which is going to be, as we know, The Faithful Shepherdess by John Fletcher. It is now cast. People have their parts. And everybody wants to talk about it because nobody knows what the heck is going on, which is exactly how we want it for this one. So that's going to be a lot of fun. There will also be 4 weeks' time. We're going to have our little scenes-based Christmas party, which will not be publicly available, but to which all of you, our fabulous patrons, are invited. So let me know if you want to come along and watch. Let me know if you want to come along and take part. The company will be playing, for their own entertainment and yours, some completely cross-cast, mixed-up casting scenes. They'll be having a lot of fun. We're hopefully going to get some people doing monologues. And we're also going to be voting for the awards for this year for the online performances. So it's nothing original. It's things like biggest weepy moment, biggest laugh, best costume, best prop. In fact, I will always take suggestions for categories. We have, biggest internet cock-up. That's always fun. That's usually quite strongly fought, but it hasn't been too bad this year, but I've got a couple of contenders in my head. So that's how we're going to see out the rest of this year. And we wish you all the very, very best for the next couple of weeks until we come back with our Faithful Shepherdess. Thank you, as ever, for your patronage. We literally could not do this without you. And we're doing everything we can at the moment to build a couple of very exciting relationships. So stay tuned. There will hopefully be some really fun news to come. Maybe before Christmas, maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, soon as I know. No. All right. My very best wishes to you and all the love and respect from the company. And we will see you for a spot of Fletcher very soon. Bye-bye.